Hello Doomers! Today I'm going to show you how to install and use the mod pack which I put together. A short disclaimer, I didn't create any of the mods in this mod pack, I have only made them work together for the maximum experience. There are two combinations. You can run this as a pack with Doom RPG, Legend Doom and Colorful Hell, or you could use a different combination where you would play Doom RPG with Doom roguelike Arsenal. Both options are available. I prefer Legend Doom because it gives you some cool RPG-like weapons, but roguelike Arsenal definitely has a lot more cool guns and it has quite a few extra features, such as ability to change your armor, boots, whatever. So let's get on with it. The first thing you need to know is that you would want to run it with GZ Doom 4.4 or higher. It works on newer builds as well, I tested. You can download it using the link in my mod description page on forums. And you would want to use ZDL mod manager. It will make the installation much easier. Then you would want to use the download for the pack itself, which is in the bottom of the page. And if you decide to play with roguelike Arsenal instead, you would want to use the second link. So as a result, you will have two folders from me. The ZDL Mod Manager window looks like this. You want to configure your source port, in that case it's my GZ Doom. And you would want to use the WAD file for Doom 2. Doom 1 will not work. Once it's unzipped, you can go ahead and load ZDL, and that would give you technically the list of the mods in the correct order. The most important thing that you would get from this is the configuration for the mods, because otherwise the interface will be all messed up from different mods, and you would have to adjust a lot of things manually. So after you load ZDL, you will notice that the mods are here, but there is a bit of a problem. They have a relative path, not absolute path. And as I remember correctly, this wouldn't work. So what I would normally do, I would delete these mods, but before I would remember the mod list order, and then I could go and in the same folder that I unzipped the files to, I could simply manually select the mods. So as a result of this action, you will have the list like this. So you'll have some extra mods, which I usually move on the top. It's just quality of life mods. This is a flashlight, because some rooms may be too dark, the crosshair and target spy. I'll explain how they work in the video later. There is a high res texture pack, which you can discard, but it makes the game look much nicer. And otherwise, you would want to make sure that your lexicon goes first, because it's just the maps. You want to override everything they provide. You want to put the champions mode after, as well as the Legend Doom 4.7. Please don't try to use 2.8 because it has quite a few extra features which will not be supported by this combination, since I would have to remake the compatibility folder. As a result of this combination, at the bottom you should have Doom RPG with extra support subfolders. Okay, I've just realized that I also have to move Colorful Hell to the bottom. I'm going to update the forum thread about that, because otherwise most of the monsters will stay not colorful, let's say. And you would also want to load the ini file if it doesn't happen automatically, because normally it loads with the DL, but just in case you could browse and find it in the same folder as DL. That will technically load all the settings for the mods. Okay, so now we are good to go. Let me quickly show you what will be the result of this mod pack. And I wanted to explain how to start working with it properly. So as you can see, there are a bunch of enemies with different colors. That's because they have different abilities. If you do not like your enemies looking like Christmas decorations, you can simply disable colorful hell and compatibility for order. And then you would be left with standard monsters, but you would still use Legend Doom properties. So right now I cranked up the spawn chance of legendary weapons, so this is what happens. You kill one guy, and he drops a gun with the color. And of course they have different effects and everything, but this is not a normal gameplay. This happens because I increased the spawn chance to maximum. So you can see all these legendary guns, they have properties. I pick up the shotgun, it can store multiple attacks and at least but once. So let me try it. Hold on. I'm just holding the left button. If I release it, it shoots multiple shots. There's this one which says blue spheres also make you phase out and become invulnerable. Awesome. So blue spheres become as invincibility. What does this one do? If you want to drop the gun, just hold the right click. Okay, so one more important step is to figure out how to play the game the way it was meant to be and how to develop your character from multiple maps. So you want to start with going to new game and selecting the difficulty, and that spawns you in this hub, which is like a marine base. You have arena there, you have a med bay here you can heal, and other interesting areas. You can pick missions once you progress in levels. Don't shoot the marines, they will destroy you. But there is also this transporter building. So if you enter the transporter, you can go left and right with AD to pick the VR standard map, which brings you into Lexicon, which is a combination of huge amount of map sets. There are single maps here. There are slaughter maps where you have like hundreds of monsters, and there are standard normal maps, which include quite popular maps such as, of course, Doom 2 itself, Ancient Aliens, Alien Vendetta, Back to Saturn, Circle of Cain, etc. So for example, if I want to play this map, Alien Vendetta, I just shoot the map once and it will load me in a second. Don't drop your gun right now because you will be unable to pick it up, it will change the level. So now that I'm inside the level, I can find the monsters, play it as normal, and if I want to come back, there's an option called skill wheel. If you go to customize controls and Doom RPG, there is skill wheel and use skill. So these two options are important. I use Alt and my mouse button, but you may want to use something else. So if I press Alt, there is a skill called transport. And by using this skill, I will go back to the hub. This way you can play through the whole map set and switch back. You need to press at least any button here to load in. Don't get stuck on the screen. And now you can return. And if you progressed through multiple levels in the WAD, it will allow you to switch back and forth, see, level 1 to level 2 inside the map itself. So you can technically go through the whole playthrough with the same character and then finish another playthrough. You could load a WAD like Doom Complete with all the Dooms and play them from the beginning to the end. So there are two extra menus I want to share with you. F1 brings you the menu where you can upgrade your stats and skills. The skills are what I use to teleport, but there is also healing, summoning, repair skills and other things here. Generally you go left and right with Shift, AD, and you switch inside of the menu with just AD without Shift. And there's also shop under F2 where you can buy weapons, you can sell weapons, you can buy ammo, you can buy healing items. One thing about healing items, you store them technically. So in the top right, you see this small icon with MODPACK. If you store multiple MODPACKs, it will go there, and you need to press H to heal, and you can change it. You are building up your healing item storage. And in the shop, you can also buy armor, and if you do that, it doesn't get equipped automatically. You have to find it in your items, like something that you would do with active items, and equip it. Then you can switch your armors this way. You can basically carry a backup armor or different type of armor. If you play with the roguelike arsenal, you can even unequip your armor and swap it, but that's something else I wanted to show you quickly. So this would be enough to enjoy the colorful hell and legendary doom with these custom Borderlands-like effects. But if you would rather have a bigger arsenal, you can go with the roguelike arsenal mod itself and the compatibility patch, and I can see the mod list on the screen right now. I'll keep it and you can pause to check it. Okay, so what it does, you don't have these colorful monsters anymore, and you don't have customly generated rarity effects for guns. However, you have a huge amount of guns themselves. So let me show you. For example, this is what the shop menu looks like. And each gun can be upgraded, and you can basically put extra range, speed, damage, and other things, and even some of the weapons could transform. Like your chainsaw with some upgrades could become an energy blade. All of these guns are taken from roguelike, Doom roguelike itself, and you could technically use the wiki for both to figure out how to combine upgrades to get these guns. There are also tons of armors. You can see the different effects. You've been able to buy it all at once at first because it's expensive, but also some of the armors have to be found, or you must be a specific rank, so you would have to finish at least a few map sets to be able to afford them, but there is more flexibility in your equipment here. I believe there is also PDA of some sort, Doom roguelike, controls, use PDA, it's L. Yeah, so this is something you can browse with your mouse and go back with right click, and for example it tells you which armor you have, which weapons you have. This is where you can see the upgrades. So there's like an extra level of complexity. It's like a Pip-Boy for Fallout games. You can also see different types of mortars introduced by this mod. So this is a good alternative to colorful hell. And you can come back and check the properties of the set monsters. Okay, well, that should be it for my explanation video. You have basically two completely different and interesting combinations of monster and weapon mods. If you have any questions about the setup or about specifics of this game mode, let me know in the thread in the forums or in the comments to this video. Otherwise, whenever you feel like you need some relaxation, this is a great game to vent some steam. Rip and tear.